Apparently the Addams Family video booted me out. So you guys to watch this morning. Let's see if we can get this to work for us. Okay. All right. So we'll pick up where we left off. All right. Had to have a little bit of the days of the longs. Okay. That brings us to the months of the year. I have a song for that too, but I'm going to save you from that today. We'll go back to that on a different day. I also have a song for our weather. Maybe we'll do that on a different day. But you had such beautiful weather this weekend. Hopefully that'll stay true through the rest of this week. And what we're going to do is tomorrow, we will start to fill in this little chart based on what the weather is like today. We'll come back and we'll start to chart whether it was sunny, partly cloudy, rainy, just cloudy, or snow, which I really hope we don't see snow. And we'll take a look and see kind of what the temperature is by the end of the day. Okay, so we'll get to this tomorrow. We're not going to fill it out today. All right, this brings us to something new that we haven't done before. We are going to work a little bit during morning meeting on telling time. And the reason why I wanted to do this was because we aren't going to have probably a chance to get as much math done as I would like with the remote learning. So we're going to kind of double up. We'll have our lessons with Mrs. Slater, and we're going to do a little bit with other stuff during our morning meeting, like we do with the secret number and the equations and stuff. So I have a video I'd like you to watch. It's a few minutes long. So I'll be back with you in just a minute, and hopefully this will work and not kick me out. Okay, so we're going to watch this quick video on telling time to the hour. And I know some of you know that already.
Today, we're going to learn how to tell time to the hour. It is important to... Today, we're going to learn how to tell time to the hour. It is important to be able to tell time so that you are not late. Before we start looking at clocks, we need to review. Time is a measure of how long something will take to finish. For example, most movies take about 1 hour and 30 minutes. We use time to be somewhere or to know when something is going to happen. Time is made up of hours. Time is also made up of minutes. Now that we have reviewed the parts of time, you are ready to learn how to tell time to the hour. This is an analog clock. An analog clock has many features that help us tell time. This is the shorthand. The shorthand on a clock tells the hour. The shorthand on the clock is pointing to the number 3. This clock says the hour is 3. This is the longhand. The longhand on the clock tells the minutes. The longhand is pointing to the 12. On an analog clock, the 12 means 0 minutes. Another way to say 0 minutes is o'clock. When the longhand points to the 12, you say o'clock. To tell time, you put the hour and the minutes together. This clock says 3 o'clock. The shorthand pointed to the hour, so we put the 3 in front to say the hour. The longhand pointed to the 12 for the minutes, so we put 00 in back to say there are 0 minutes. This is how the time appears on a digital clock. This is how you write the time. The two dots in the middle of the time are called a colon. The hour goes first. The hour is in front of the colon. The minutes go last. The minutes are behind the colon. When the minutes are 00, we say o'clock. This clock says 3 o'clock. This analog clock also says 3 o'clock. Both of these say 3 o'clock. Now that you have learned how to tell time on an analog clock, let's practice. What time is it? This clock says 1 o'clock. The shorthand points to the 1. When the shorthand points to the 1, the hour is 1. The longhand points to the 12. When the longhand points to the 12, the minutes are 00. When the longhand points to the 12, you say o'clock. This clock says 1 o'clock. What time is it? This clock says 9 o'clock. The shorthand points to the 9. The hour is 9. The longhand points to the 12. The minutes are 00 and you say o'clock. This clock says 9 o'clock. What time is it? This clock says 6 o'clock. The shorthand points to the 6. The hour is 6. The longhand points to the 12. The minutes are 00 and you say o'clock. This clock says 6 o'clock. What time is it? This clock says 12 o'clock. On this clock, both the shorthand and the longhand point to the 12. The shorthand points to the 12. The hour is 12. The longhand points to the 12. The minutes are 00 and you say o'clock. On this clock, both the shorthand and the longhand point to the 12. This clock says 12 o'clock. What time is it? This clock says 4 o'clock. The shorthand points to the 4. The hour is 4. The longhand points to the 12. The minutes are 00 and you say o'clock. This clock says 4 o'clock. Before we finish, let's review how to tell time to the hour. The shorthand on a clock tells the hour. The longhand on the clock tells the minutes. On an analog clock, the 12 means 0 minutes. To tell time, you put the hour and the minutes together. This is how the time appears on a digital clock. This is how you write the time. The hour goes first. The hour is in front of the colon. The minutes go last. The minutes are behind the colon. When the minutes are 00, we say o'clock. Both of these clocks say 10 o'clock. Now that you have learned how to tell time to the hour, you are ready to practice. Thank you for learning with me today. Have fun practicing telling time.
Okay. So I know that was kind of a long video, but I hope it helped for those of you who have not practiced telling time to the hour yet. And I know some of you know how to tell time even to the minute. So this is just going to be a review for you, and that's great. So when you get into Seesaw today, for math, you're going to be doing adding to 10, adding 10 to a number, a 2-digit number, But I'm not going to give you any practice in that today because we did that all last week. And I think you're going to have enough practice just following with the boom cards with Mrs. Slater. And remember, you always take a picture of that and send it to me. So instead, you're going to have some practice with telling time to the hour in Seesaw today. I've pushed out 3 activities to you. You can do all 3 or you can just do 1. And I'm not going to have you do any online math like reflex or freckle or happy numbers unless you want to. Today, it is optional. It is not a must do. Okay? All right. So how many days have we been in school? Well, we have been in school for 100, I had to double check, 143 days. All right. So if you take a look at your paper, I didn't have a slide that said to get a piece of paper because I think you guys know that by now. You're going to go ahead and model 143. I'm so sorry, I have hair in my mouth. So you're going to take 100's cube and then 4 tens rather, sorry. 10, 20, 30, 40. Notice I'm counting by tens, not by ones. All right, so we have 110, 20, 30, 40, and now we need 3 ones. 1, 2, and 3. So there is our number model, 143. All right, for our number equation today, on your paper, you're actually going to do something a little different. We're not going to do an equation. I want you to try telling time. So I have 3 clocks. So you're going to write down 3 different times. Remember, you put the 2 dots in when you write a time. For example, let's say, and this is not an answer to any of these, let's say I wanted to write 5 o'clock. I would write the hour is 5. Then I have to put those 2 dots. And whenever I put o'clock, what's the 2 numbers I put? 0, 0. Okay. So that would be how I would write 5 o'clock. So right now, take a look at these 3 clocks. The shorthand, remember, is the hour hand. I've made it red. The long hand is the minute hand. I've made it black. Write down the time that these 3 clocks show on your paper. If you need to, you can pause the video. Okay. Our secret number today is a 3-digit number. It is an odd number. It is between 101 and 120. If you add all the digits together, it would equal 4. Odd number between 101 and 120. If you added all the digits together, it would equal 4. What's my number? Write it down. Okay. Fry words today. We are going to be testing these at the end of the week, so please make sure that you are reading these out loud, and I have them going the right way. So here we go. I say, you say. Hard. Along. Something. Both. Few. Got. Life. Left. Seam. Paper. Those. Close. Saw. Together. Open. While. Begin. Group. Next. Always. Run. Might. Don't. Often. Example. Good job. Okay. Now it's time for our read aloud. And we have Lulu walks the dog. So I'm just going to read one chapter out of this real quick today. This is chapter 21. Fleshman got back there. Okay, I'll untie you, Fleshman said to Lulu, but only if you'll explain how come you hate me. Oh, I can do that, said Lulu. That'll be easy. And then she gave him 10 different explanations. You always eat carrots. You never eat anything that's bad for you. Your sneakers look like they just came out of a store. You play an actual flute instead of a toy one. You wear that ugly t-shirt that says, I didn't mention this earlier because that t-shirt makes me want to throw up. You have this really, really annoying smile. Okay, and the t-shirt, I'll show you in a second. You keep saying things like you can speak German and French. You keep saying things like, I'm honored and thrilled to serve you. You got a day off from school because you're so smart. You're a total expert on dogs and you don't even have a dog. All the moms and dads in the world think you're perfect, and maybe you are. And how can a person not hate a person who's perfect? Okay, so I made a mistake. Lulu gave him 11 explanations, but forget about that. Right now, I'm anxious to hear what Fleshman will say. Aren't you? Okay, and here's Fleshman's t-shirt. It says, I'm here to bring some happiness into your life. Lulu didn't like that shirt. I think it's nice. Oh, we have to stop there. That's the beginning of a new chapter. Okay, so that brings us to our ABC countdown. Today is letter I. So I stands for ice. If you would like to, try taking an ice cube outside and timing how long it takes for it to melt. You can do the same thing at the same time. You can put an ice cube maybe in a cup or a bowl in your house and see how long it takes that to melt. Which one do you think is going to melt faster and why? Send me a video if you decide to do this experiment. Let me know how it turns out. If you can't go outside, then maybe what you could do is you could put one ice cube near a window where maybe the sun is coming through and one ice cube maybe away from the window. Be creative. Let me know what happens, okay? And if you can't do an I for ice cube experiment, then maybe you can get ice cream and just eat it. That sounds good too. Okay. I have one final announcement to make. Tomorrow, I'm going to be sending out a Zoom for tomorrow for 4:00 p.m. I'm hoping that everybody in our class can make it because Miss McCullough, the 5th grade teacher, has asked that we have just a quick Zoom meeting where we're all going to clap for our 5th graders. Because unfortunately, we're not going to be back in school to do the clap out like we normally do every year. Remember, we line the hallways and we clap as the 5th grade walks out for the last time. So we're going to do a virtual clap out. So everyone that can join me on Tuesday at 4:00, we're going to have a Zoom meeting. You'll have a chance to talk to your friends and stuff, but I'm going to record a part of it so that I can get everybody clapping. And then every class in the school is going to be in this video for the 5th graders, which I think will be really nice. So look for that invitation to the Zoom on Tuesday. And then remember, we have our reoccurring reading Zooms for those of you who have been attending them and that signed up on Wednesdays and Friday. This Friday, we will have Zoom conferences. Last Friday was a catch-up Friday, so we didn't, but we will have it this week. And that brings us to the end of our morning meeting. I'm sorry it took 2 different videos. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing all your work. Oh, wait, I forgot. I know Adriana got this, but have any of the rest of you? This is Flat Miss Stephenson. Have you ever read the book Flat Stanley? Maybe I need to find that and read it to you, because that's what this was inspired by. If you got this in the mail, remember, send me some pictures or videos. I'd like to see what you and I are doing together, seeing how we can't be together for real. At least I can be there in spirit, okay? Have a good day, boys and girls. Bye.